turn, my dear.
You're listening to WeP3 Radio on the Foxhole Radio Network. Currently playing Matt Williams, Mountain.
Just to end up back here. Is it wrong that I fight in the way that I feel? I know there'll be a day.
Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it.
Truck it on.
Tom Cruise, roll out. You're watching or listening to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. We the people, the People's Patriot Project.
Looking for a place to put your skill set, your thoughts, and ideas, or want to help continue the mission? You have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we are the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be a part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. Here's the WeP3 Team bringing you today's best heroes hits in the boots on the ground organizations that are saving lives. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it.
Truck it on.
Good evening. This is Andrea Eichmann with the People's Patriot Project, and I am here to welcome you to yet another weekly show. We Got Your 6 at 6. Every week, we bring you a guest and many times a new artist, and then we share all the good and sometimes not so good things that are happening in our world. This week, we have got Lauren Iozzio, who feels kind of like family already. I think Derek's out there listening as well. And then we have music that will be shared by Hockett, who's a new friend coming out of Nebraska, and we can't wait to hear his music tonight. Tonight we just want to thank our sponsors, and I've seen some of you out there. Catch 22 with Derek Iozzio, Operation Texas Strong, which is Bobby and Peggy Kretzinger, Brian Kenzer. He's here with Smart Living Today, which is, you guys reach out. I'm a part of his group as well, and we just shop at an online store that's like American-made products and American-made prices and shipping. I mean, it's good. Also, it does generate a little funding to the People's Patriot Project if and when you shop there. And then we've got Kimmer Gwinner in the house, our very own poet. I called her the lyric writer earlier. We'll see. We're going to hear some more about that too. We can be heard with the We Got Your 6 at 6 show Sunday evenings at 11 p.m. Eastern time on Reads Across America Radio. They put us in a beautiful slot in case you happen to miss the week before. You can pop in after tonight's show and catch what you might have missed last week. Just go on to any app and check out like iHeartRadio app, Odyssey app. Just search up the word Wreath or Reads Across America and you will find it. Thanks again to our sponsors, our guests, our viewers. Before we do start this week's show, we'd like to ask you to take off your hats, stand if you can, and cover your heart. Join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Look at this. There is Mr. Kenzer himself. Thank you at Brian. Healthy living today. Smart living today. I used to always say healthy living today because it is healthy. Good choices, smart choices. There's some fun to be had as well. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Excellent.
Good. It is August 25th, 2024. I don't know what you guys got going on, but I start school tomorrow. It's just teachers this week, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Yeah, I know.
Summer's over.
Oh wait, say it again, Andrea. Say it again.
No, I said I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amanda.
Amanda in the house. Did you
Quiet
mute
there,
my microphone, Eichmann? Did you mute my microphone?
No, but I like watching you say the Pledge of Allegiance without sound. It's good.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's good. It's good. Here we go. Here we roll. It is August 25th, and we are here for We Got Your 6 at 6 with the People's Patriot Project and the amazing people from across the country getting it done. Andrea's done the shout outs to people all over the country. Amanda, we see you. Brian Kinzer, we see you. Derek Iozzio, we love seeing you. Look what we got here, Derek. Look what we got. Again, this gets cut the podcast, so you don't get to see some of the antics that we do during the show. But again, at any point, please let us know what we can do to make our show better, bigger, badder. We have amazing guests every week. We have amazing music every week. And if you miss the music or any of those on here, you can check them in other venues that we will share with you here later on the show. But you can always hear our musicians on WeP3 Radio. Really super simple. If you type in W-E, that's a bigger word in my vocabulary, but we, P and 3 on Google or any search engine, WeP3 Radio will pop up right now. It's amazing. It's great. I didn't think, when we got into this that who would have known that we'd have these opportunities. And the amazing, again, guests and amazing people that we've got to meet over the last 5 years has been immensely awesome. Look at the WeP3 team here tonight. Andrew runs the show for the most part. We got Jonathan Crochet down at the delta of the Mississippi and Louisiana. And then we got Miss Kim Winter, who is always here. The Wiz tells us, guys, if you haven't had a chance to pick up Miss Winter's books, any one of them, and her publications, check them out. See them. There are life stories. You will see stories of challenge. You will see stories of a life that I'm not confident, and I think Kim will relate or maybe disagree or agree. I don't know that everyone can live through all the pieces that Miss Kimmer has lived through to tell the story. And it's because of rotten, dirty scoundrels that are out there. But again, pick up her books, find it. Miss Kimmer has no problem sharing her story with the world. Thanks for being here, everybody.
It's good to be here, man.
Heck yeah.
I don't know if my jokes are funny or not, but I mean, we said them all before the show, so I don't know if we'll get to them during the show today because it can just be our funny. But we got to have a very serious talk, and Jonathan, you should lead it off with the news, right?
Correct. We are ready. So August is National Wellness Month, and the idea of this is to remind people to prioritize self-care, manage stress levels, and promote healthy routines in their lives. Find some healthy routines that you can do regularly that give you peace and happiness on some level. Make yourself a priority, and that might mean treating yourself like the people that you love. So I had the news typed up, and I just came across this like as the intro was playing. So today is the birthday of the 82nd Airborne Division, 107 years old. The legacy of the paratrooper continues as troops from a new generation perform parachute landing falls in much the same manner as was taught all those years ago. The history and legacy of the 82nd Airborne continues to be written as a new chapter of paratroopers finds their way into the battlefield and the landing zone by way of the sky. August 25th, 2005 is a surreal day in the history of, excuse me, what's up, buddy? You can go inside.
Is Landon?
Yes, he's inside. Sorry. August 25th was a very surreal day in the history of South Louisiana, South Mississippi, Florida. Hurricane Katrina made landfall between Hallandale Beach and Aventura, Florida as a Category 1 hurricane, and 4 days later it would come ashore again near Empire, Buras, and Boothville, Louisiana. The rescue and response effort was one of the largest in Coast Guard history, with 24,135 lives saved and 9,409 evacuations. Hurricane Katrina would claim 1,392 lives and caused an estimated $145.5 billion in damages, particularly in the city of New Orleans and surrounding areas of Louisiana and southern Mississippi. Bittersweet. I was overseas for that moment, and I'm somewhat grateful that I didn't have to be here and experience it all, but watching what little bits and pieces I could get from the internet while overseas and not being able to make a phone call on a regular basis, and when I could, there was nobody to pick it up, was terrifying in and of its own. But we made it through. We survived. Louisiana is rebuilding from a new hurricane now. But we're resilient, as is the country, so we will survive. August 29th is the Marine Corps Reserve birthday. They will turn 108 years old. The Marine Corps Reserve is currently the largest command in the United States Marine Corps, with approximately 40,000 Reserve Marines and 184 Reserve training centers located throughout the U.S. The mission of the Marine Corps Reserve is to augment and reinforce active Marine forces in times of war, national emergency, or contingency operations, provide personnel and operational tempo relief for the active forces in peacetime, and to provide service to the community, such as Toys for Tots around Christmas time. A lot of us have seen that being put on by Marine Corps Reserve units. The United States Marine Corps Reserve was established when Congress passed the Naval Appropriations Act of 29 August 1916, and it is responsible for providing trained units and qualified individuals to be mobilized to carry out all of these duties. And that is it for the news.
Thank you for sharing, Jonathan. And you know what? We've never really had the chance to have this conversation. During Hurricane Katrina, at the time we were taking care of a young man from Louisiana. As a teacher, he was living up in our space, and then this had happened. And I got to deal with some of the effects or the reactions to. I can't imagine what it would be like being away from home overseas and having to deal with this. Can you take us through that a little bit? What was that like for a service member who was away from their home and literally this catastrophe that I don't know how, I mean, literally wiped off the map for the most part. Do you remember your feelings? Do you remember what was happening? How did you communicate? How did you know people were survived? All those pieces.
Well, at the time, I wasn't super, I would say, versed in emails and things like that. I'm sure it was around, but nobody was using that on a regular basis. My means was to call once every day. That's what we were allotted. And I would try to make that call. And one day I'm talking to them and everything looks fine. And, it's probably going to miss us, but nobody really knows because it's already come out of the Gulf, hit Florida and made a circle and came back up into the Gulf again. So nobody really knows what's going on at this point or where it's going to hit. At this point, it's all overpaid guessing games. So one day I make that call and the next day, my usual time comes around. I go to make that call again, and for the next week or so, 5 days to a week, there's zero communication. I have no idea what's going on with my family, anyone. I can't speak to anyone. There's no Facebook to get on and check for photo updates or nothing like that. So yeah, I was in a bit of a panic, but at this point you kind of waiting and hoping that you don't get that Red Cross message. You know what I mean?
That was the crazy pieces, because from outside of that space, it was like a fishbowl because everyone could look in because we were watching what's happening on the media. We're watching all the things that's going on. But the people that were in the middle of it had no electricity. They had no TVs. They had no way to communicate. Cell phone towers were down. It was all, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And I couldn't figure out, because this young man was I believe he was a freshman at the time. And I'm like, do you not care what's going on down in that space? And he, like, a week into it, then he's like, something clicked, and he's like, oh my gosh, is this really happening to my home? And I'm like, yeah, brother, we've been trying to get hold of your family and make sure they're safe, but there was no knowing any of those pieces. And so
I think the real difference, like you said, it wasn't necessarily, I wouldn't say I experienced issues that people that lived right here didn't experience. It was just the place that I experienced them from. You know what I mean? Because there were people that lived right here, 30 minutes away from New Orleans that couldn't reach relatives in New Orleans or anything else either. All communication, cell phone lines were stacked up with calls, emergency calls, and everything else. So it was just the place that I was experiencing it from that was different. It was a super traumatizing time for the state, the country, the city of New Orleans, most definitely. But it was from seeing the aftermath, like I said, I wasn't here, but from seeing the aftermath and talking to people that were here that unfortunately did have to experience the events firsthand, it was more than I think anyone really prepared for.
Yeah, crazy. Thank you for sharing, Jonathan. And check out our panel tonight. We have, and I messed up. I got to do a quick switch here. We always put the ladies first. Sorry, Mr. Hackett. It's just the way it works. And people that are listening to the podcast, you won't have a clue what we're doing there. But we just had to do a little change of positioning on our screen here. Miss Lauren Iozzio, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for all your amazing support. And you literally come from military support royalty, Mr. Derek Iozzio, Catch 22. I'd always mess up his place of living in Texas, and now I get to mess up his place of living in Alabama. Alabama.
I know.
Isn't
He's
it?
studying now, so really, what a better place. There's not a better place to be, I guess.
Do we have to agree with that?
Oh,
Oh.
that's not.
It just gives me a chance to throw it in there again. At least it's not Iowa. That's what we say around. That's what we say in these parts, right, Andrea?
Iowa is just amazing.
And Mr. Hackett, good to have you here, brother.
Good to be here, man.
I said Hackett, and I meant to say Hockett, and I said that. There's too much of this Hock-Tooey stuff going on. That's why I got sorry. We kind of pre-showed that one a little bit, just a little bit.
I think he's been practicing that actually since your name showed up on the list. Oh, I got a good one for this, he says.
And you're calling from the great state of
Nebraska.
I don't even know what to say. Nebraska, yes, it's a good state. It's a good state.
It's a good life, man.
We were waiting for them to get a football team sometime because the mighty fighting saber-toothed Gophers just have a way with you guys, and I love talking about that because nothing is more exciting than talking about a mighty, ferocious Gopher eating Cornhuskers. That's exciting. No, thanks for being here, brother. Thanks for putting up with my crap.
Of course.
And we'll keep doing it. Miss Iozzio, first question to you. Why are you here?
Can you repeat that? I don't know if it's your internet or my internet, but
You're all good. What gets you here? Why are you here with us? Tell us why you choose to support the People's Patriot Project and, again, the lineage of the veteran family-age conversation.
absolutely, yeah. So my father, Derek Iozzio, he is the founder of Catch 22, and he offers peer support to veterans and people in and out of the military. He is an awesome person. And I actually was looking at your guys' mission, and it's been a couple months now that I've kind of found out about you guys. And, you know, it's really interesting that you kind of talk about some of the things that we can't see, you know, mental health and some of the stuff that a lot of people are going through. And I'm a teacher myself. I have a K-8 certification, and I spent some time on Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota. So I really can't hate on Nebraska over there too much.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
But, so yeah, it's something that I kind of preach to a lot of my students, you know, take your mental health seriously, no matter who you are, really. You're absolutely right. It's not something that, you know, you can always see or always know that someone's battling, but it's definitely incredibly important. And so I kind of want to come on here and share, you know, how I teach my students that. And I also want to talk about my Airbnb and about the military and veteran discounts that I offer as well. So.
That is so, I mean, I say it's awesome. I mean, half our board here are educators as well. And now it just gives my will just absolutely turn about future opportunities and what we can do with those kiddos. And have you ever heard of Rees Across America?
I have not until recently.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll have that conversation because Andrea will talk about Rees Across America. And one of their biggest piece about it, one of their pillars, the 3 pillars, is teach. And that we need to be in the space to teach our youths about what the men and women have done for this country and allow us. We're a little bit more graphic when we talk with the People's Patriot Project because we all get to lay our big fat heads on the pillows of freedom every day because the men and women that have provided the service that gave us those freedoms and the men and women that stand in the streets daily to make sure that we're safe and take care of our needs. So, but Rees Across America says it a little bit more eloquently and what those men and women have done for us to give us our freedom. So we will continue that conversation. So you come from a family of service members. Do you want to share anything about that in your life?
Yeah, I can share a little bit about my father in particular has spent some time in the military, and he currently now his big thing is really to kind of help veterans make sure again that they have that mental support, but also just support in general, whatever that looks like. Definitely connecting them to resources, just backing them up however he can. I mean, he did an awesome job connecting. You mentioned Operation Texas Strong. I actually am in their area right now and have kind of met up with them this past week. So they do good work as well. But no, I think he's done an awesome job, not just in El Paso, but kind of wherever he is. He takes, a second to really network and, help anyone he can, anytime he can. So shout out to my father.
Absolutely. Shout out to Derek Iozzio. It took about a year for me to figure out how to say the name correctly.
You're doing great.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I usually they give me a treat when I do it right, so that's why I do my best. But Catch 22 and peer support and Miss Lovely Kimmer is a byproduct of that network. And again, Mr. Iozzio just constantly is feeding us with people of character, but people that are in boots on the ground mission to take care of veterans and first responders, and they do a ton of work in peer support. So if and when you reach out to the People's Patriot Project for social emotional supports, that is a network that we like to plug into and have those conversations. And so, again, Lauren, we're going to hear more about you and how you're giving. And again, I'm excited about what Derek Iozzio, he's already done his service, but he's continuing the mission with Catch 22. And so thank you, Derek Iozzio. Thank you for this amazing, I got to be careful how I say this stuff, this offspring who is now following close in your footsteps and continues the mission as well. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you.
Mr. Hockett. Tell us more, brother. Tell us about your service.
Well, I was a Navy corpsman. I went in after I figured out that college just wasn't exactly for me and didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. I know I didn't want to go back to the farm at that particular point in my life, so I walked into the recruiter office. First, I walked into the Marine Corps office and asked if they had a job for like the medical field type thing. They said that was next door at the Navy. So went and signed up at the Navy, and 2 months later I was on a plane to Chicago and went through boot camp, Corps school up there in the dead of winter. So that was cool. And then did 4 years as a Navy corpsman, and never really did anything cool, never really got the opportunity to deploy or anything like that. But I did help a lot with all the people that came back and things like that, and treated them accordingly. And, just a lot of the times just sitting down, having a cold beer with somebody and listening to them, things like that.
I get stuck in having this conversation, and I relate with you. But I gotta say it because some of our brothers and sisters don't understand. People who've never served don't understand. And I think you know where I'm going here, but never minimize the levels of your service based on the experience of your service. You took the time, you signed the line, you're ready to do it, and so we appreciate you and thank you for your service. You do deserve it. And again, I'm stuck in the same boat as you are because I know we got brothers and sisters who have lost
tremendous amounts.
Yeah, blood, limbs, and life for their service. And again, it's kind of like that Till Valhalla moment where it's like, you know what? I wanted more because I put myself out there to give more. And you know what? They used me to where they needed to, and that's the best we do. But we have the chance. Yeah, we have the chance to still continue the mission, and that's where we're at. And I think we're in the same battlefields that any of those other brothers and sisters have been in, except we're dealing with a different enemy right now. And so hang in there, keep doing our thing. You play music.
I do.
And you play this music. Where do you get to travel? Do you get to tell us more about that?
Oh, dude. I've been all over the place down in Oklahoma, where I'm originally from. We're planning tours going all the way down into Texas. I'm headed back up to Sturgis in a couple of weeks. And we're all over the state of Nebraska, Kansas. We're going to venture over into Colorado, New Mexico. We're even coming up to Iowa.
Oh.
So there will be a reason to go to Iowa, is what you're saying.
There will be.
Okay, fair enough. Is that they had to clear out a cornfield to make that happen, or what? What do you know?
I don't know. You're going to have to keep me filled in on that. I've got too much corn as it is down here.
Fair enough. So we got 3 of your songs lined up. Which one would you like to start off with first?
Well, might as well just start off with the one that started it all. That'd probably be Dotted Line. That one was a cool one to write. And I'd also like to encourage like veterans and first responders and stuff like that. Y'all that are listening. If you need an out, need a way to vent, music is a really good outlet for that. And whether it be listening to it till your ears bleed or creating, I find a lot of people that need help. I can put a guitar in their lap and just tell them to write down what they're feeling and here's some chords, and a week later they've got something cool, and they come and say, you know what, that felt good, and they keep going.
So you're telling me Dotted Line is the first song that you wrote and put out? That
I recorded, yeah.
I mean, we try not to have a hierarchy of approval and likes and stuff like that. This is one of my favorite songs of yours, just for the record. And
right on.
It's your first one. So check this out. This is Mr. Hockett with Dotted Lines.
I woke early one Wednesday morning and I took myself for a drive. Pulled up to the crossroads, off to the right, couldn't hardly believe my eyes. I saw one man standing, one on his knees with his arms up to the sky. And the tall man said, now you're working for me, here's the keys to your brand new life. You want fame, you want fortune, I want blood, give you everything you're dreaming of. You want fame, you want fortune, I want blood, don't you worry about a thing, son. I can't take it from here, put the pen on the dotted line, I just sign. Well, the man on his knees quivered his lip, tears rolling down his face. He said, I went to the preacher man to find some help, but he sent me on down the way. The tall man said, hey, I understand, so you know that I got your back. I got everything that you need right here, so let you and I make a pact. You want fame, you want fortune, I want blood, give you everything you're dreaming of. You want fame, you want fortune, I want blood, don't you worry about a thing, son. I can take it from here, put the pen on the dotted line, just sign. And as man lost his life, I thought of my own. Would I take the whole world at the cost of my soul? I locked eyes with the devil as I drove away. But every once in a while I can hear the tall man say, you want fame, you want fortune, I want blood, give you everything you're dreaming of. You want fame, you want fortune, I want blood. You want fame, you want fortune, I want blood, give you everything you're dreaming of. You want fame, you want fortune, I want blood, don't you worry about things, son. I can take it from here, put the pen on the dotted line, just sign. Yeah, just sign. Put the pen on the dotted line, just sign.
It's Mr. Hockett with Dotted Line.
That one was a cool
Digging
one
it.
to do. That was a real cool one to do.
Hell yeah, it was a cool one to do.
We were in the studio for like 14 straight hours, and that was like lightning in a bottle. I was actually going in there to record something completely different, and I had actually been sitting on those lyrics for a couple of years. And I walked in and they said, we've got this beat. You're going to have to just trust me on this. We've got a good feeling about it. Do you have any lyrics? So I went through and pulled them out, threw them on the table, and they're like, yeah, we could work with this. We were making like shakers with Gatorade bottles and rice and all kinds of stuff. It was awesome.
I first time listener, I mean, not today, but I mean, a first time listener hearing this, it's going on the playlist, and I can't. We got a couple more songs left to go tonight, and it is what it is. And but you know, earlier as we were playing WeP3 Radio in the background in our pre-show, and you're like, I'm digging what I'm hearing, and you're a veteran musician, and there are a handful of veteran. We have roughly 190 musicians now that have played in our network, and it never gets old. It's always new. It's always fresh, and it always leaves us sitting there wondering, where have you guys been? Where
Working a day job.
Well, and that is the issue. But this is one of the reasons why we always want to showcase our veteran and first responder musicians, because you all have done something above and beyond what everyone else in the less than 6% of our country has done already. Less than 4% have already done. You've gone, you served your country, and now you're coming back and you've got a skill set and a talent that you're trying to hone at the same time. And you didn't get to live the posh life of some of these musicians that, hey, have the big money backing them. They get to walk into any studio they want. They get to, and they're going to spin their stuff the second they walk out with the writers and all that. Again, we have yet to come across a musician that we're like, it shouldn't be playing. We should be hearing this in our ears every single day. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you for being here.
Of course.
Mr. Gabriel Wren, thank you for being here on time as usual. We appreciate you. Boom, we got you. Mr. Gabriel Wren out of the state of Tennessee, out of Nashville with Trinity Productions. If you need a video guy, Mr. Hockett, we got a guy. That might be the guy that you want to talk to. and we can connect you as well. Mr. Terry Daniels, good to see you, brother. Where do you do your recordings?
I do my recording up here in Holders, Nebraska. I roll with Five Jack Entertainment, and I recently got signed to United Republic Records out of Nashville, and it's an indie label, and this is really just now getting off the ground. And as far as like, I'm in my late 30s, and I feel like I'm finally at the mature enough mindset to where I can pursue music hardcore without, ending up in a body bag because, the rock star lifestyle and stuff like that. So
No, we get that. We a couple years ago, we took 28 musicians into Nashville and did what we called the WeP3 Nashville Takeover, and we played 6 venues in 5 days, and they were dropping on Thursday because how hard we were pushing, how hard we weren't pushing. I mean, we had the easy seat. We were chaperoning and making sure people got where they're supposed to be. These men and women were playing till 1:00 at night on our sets, and then we'd get back to the resort that Mr. Big Vinny allowed us to stay at of Mad Dog Entertainment back in the day, but now part of Tennessee Mafia. He let us stay at his resort, and everyone would play until 4, 5, and 6 in the morning. Well, do that sustainably for 4 and 5 days in a row. And there may have been a couple of aluminum cans in the mix with a couple of other things going on. Some of our musicians were just like, hey, we can't do this. And me and Andrea got the amazing privilege of hosting the red carpet at the Grand Ole Opry at the Josie Awards. And the very first guy we get an interview is Mr. Golden of the Oakridge Boys. Like, Mr. Golden, and Gabriel Wren was there. He was our video guy that did our red carpet experience. I was like, Mr. Golden, you've been doing this for 50 years. How? I've got musicians that have done it for 5 days and they're struggling. What's your secret? And he's like, you gotta pull back a little bit. You gotta pull back. And so it's good that you've got that knowledge of your life experiences in there. And we do have a musician in the network that is he lies about his age. We won't out him right now. He lies about his age because he's like, Nashville's about age. And I'm like, okay, well, some Oakridge Boys, they don't seem to care about their age. They seem to be doing. Willie Nelson, he seems to be all right. Granted,
he's doing fine.
A little different situation. But again, Willie Nelson's a veteran, just so you guys know. And so, thank you for being here, brother. And we're going to come back to you here in a second.
Of course.
Miss Iozzio. Boho Hobo. What the hell is that?
The Boho Hobo's Hideaway. I'm the Boho Hobo. I don't know. I just kind of came up with the idea one time. I heard the word boho, bohemian, very free spirited, and a lot of my friends call me that because I will get up and move the state that I'm in at a moment's notice, or I'll go travel, or I'll go take a 24-hour road trip. And so they always kind of told me I was free spirited, and then hobo just kind of came after it, and the words kind of meshed together. And I wanted my Airbnb to kind of be a place where you can just get up and go to and not have to worry and hang out and enjoy nature. And
so that makes so much more sense when you say it. And because this hillbilly from Wyoming had no clue, but now it makes all the sense in the world. Tell me what you do with your space.
Yeah, so it's about 4 acres up in Livingston, Texas, so about an hour and a half north of Houston, which is where I'm from. And I ideally kind of wanted a place where I could hide away, or anyone else who needs a relaxing weekend to just kind of take the dogs, or just take your girls, or take whoever you want, or just yourself, and kind of have a place to relax and enjoy nature. There's a creek that runs alongside the back of the property, And we got a fire pit. You know, you can roast some marshmallows and sit and watch the stars. And, you know, me coming from the 4th largest city in the U.S., it's definitely my favorite place to be and just kind of hang out and listen to the crickets. So I definitely offer, you know, military discounts, veteran discounts, first responder discounts, educator discounts, stuff like that. So I just kind of want to give back to the people who gave back, so to speak.
You're an absolute superstar, and again, a person that me coming from Wyoming State, who loves the mountains, who loves the air, who loves the just the freshness of just being out there. It sounds like an invigorating opportunity to be able to find your space, chill, relax, and get yourself together a little bit.
Right.
Have you had the chance? Go ahead.
I was just saying that was definitely the goal. There's a lake, you know, 15 minutes away. There's the reservation, which does happen to have a casino on it in case, you know, you need to get away from it for a little bit. So yeah, that's kind of the whole goal, is just to zen out, be with nature, get away from everything.
Do you like? We did it. We did it together. No, you're good. Do you like casinos?
I have never really dabbled too much in that. I've been to a few, and I'm like, here's my $10, and if I don't get anything out of it, I'm moving on.
I don't know that I like the noise inside there, and it's not like it's like, oh my gosh, my trigger or anything like that. But it's like, I know when I go to Vegas, it's not really, the casinos are the last place I want to hang out.
Right.
And if you go to Fremont Street, I'm like, I don't even go down there anymore. That's just a weird monster altogether. I digress, because this is not even the subject matter of what we do here, but I'm venting. Sorry, I'm venting.
Okay.
Miss Kimmer, what do you got for us tonight?
Wow, in honor of all the Iozzios that are here tonight, I like to do something that Derek and I co-wrote. It's called Our Mess. There are days in your life when you're going to feel like a mess, but every day you get to live, you'll be blessed. By the little things you might not see or do, please know that you are loved, if even by a few. Yes, there will be days when you feel messy. On that, you can count, but don't stress thee. For you have survived those days, and a few more than a few, surrounded by others who really love you. Keep going and do what you do. Spread the love from others, from me and you. On our messy days, we can still be strong. Your guide can help you, and you won't be alone. The journey we take can feel so long. Peer supports are here like your chaperone. We want to help you to stay on your course, but only when you are ready to do the work. If you need information, we can find a source. Who knows, you might end up writing a book. I have had those days I was a mess. Those days I tried, those days I lied. To appear, I was able to confess. That peer knew that I couldn't hide like dust on a shelf. I was only fooling myself. A peer is someone who has been there, a person with a story to share. A peer knows how to care. When you find yourself in a mess, find a person to talk out the stress. Soon you will feel better, and maybe even write a letter. Explain how you took a look inside yourself, and like my friend, write a book. I too have had messy days. In fact, most of my life was in such an array. I cried. I tried to say goodbye. To appear, I was able to open up and release all of that messy stuff. And after doing so, I felt much relief that in myself, I began to believe that there were people in which I could trust, because on this healing journey, that is a must. Not only that, I found that I could trust myself, and I was able to remove that dust from my shelf. I found the people to talk out my stress, and now my days are less a mess. Thank you for being here when I do need help, because I know that you care and that it is heartfelt. On paper, we could keep writing our words to keep our progress and from going backwards. We don't want to go back to the past. What a mess. Remember, each day that we live, we are blessed.
All right. Well, now we can't do any more of the show because we can't top any part of that. That's, you and Derek should. Thank you for your amazing words, Miss Kimmer. Thank you for putting all the stuff together that you do, and just your amazing mission that you have in life. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Derek, I love you.
Yeah, what do? You go dead air for a minute and gather your thoughts and put your words together and thoughts, and none of it compares. And just the fact that Miss Kimmer has lived a life that has seen a little bit more than the rest of us, and we got Mr. Derek Iozzio that is constantly got his ear to the ground and constantly I don't know what the right word is. Enhancing what the People's Patriot Project does by his ability to see and build relationships and do his mission. And so, thank you, Mr. Iozzio, for all you do. I didn't know this would end up being a tribute to Derek Iozzio night, but yeah. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. There's been a conversation for a minute. We're going to just leave that conversation in the bag, but just more to come, more to come. Thank you, Derek Iozzio. I'm stumbling. I never stumble. I never trip. I never fall. And now I'm like, gosh, what do we do next? I gotta throw you out there, Mr. Hockett.
Okay.
It's your turn. What do you have to say now, brother?
Well,
what are you working on right now?
Oh, we're working on all kinds of cool stuff. We're working on putting an album out, and I think we've just about got 2025 tour mapping all wrapped up and ready to get finalized and all that good stuff. And we're headed, we've got some other busy things we got to do to close out the year, but mainly studio time and just getting things on the platforms for people to hear is the main mission right now.
Is there a band you have formed and it's got your crew? You want to do a quick shout out to those guys?
Yeah. We got Aaron Haluska. He's local guy from Nebraska. Like all my band is from the local area that I live in. I got really lucky and blessed by relocating in such a musician hotspot, I guess you could say. And we call him Air Dog. He's on the bass. I got Wade Taylor on the drums. Cameron Russell's on lead guitar, and then I'm on guitar and vocals. And we vibe really, really well. We've got a lot of smoke in ourselves right now.
Is there a group or the word is group? I want to stick with group of other bands or other musicians that you guys tour with or play with or stick together with?
Yeah, the cool thing about the Nebraska music scene is we kind of call it the flyover country music, and a lot of us work out of the same production house, which is FiJack and then Fly Bros. Look, quick shout out to Luke Mills and CR Pendleton. They do great things, and they're just killing it. We've got the Kyle Saylor Band out of Kearney, which is 45 minutes up the road. Downtown Nowhere, over on the eastern end of the state. Western end of the state, excuse me. Kylie Barwick's out there as well. We got Jaden Schumacher. It's just, we got Hockett as well. And it's just, there's a big group like DJ Bridwell, Dylan Bloom. Just the whole state is just riddled with musicians. Nebraska's it's jumping.
That's awesome to hear. And we got the chance to experience a gigantic piece of that last August at the Hero Stock event down there, put on by Jason Steiner. And they've got more events across the country coming up. You're getting ready to play at Hero Stock?
I believe I'm doing Hero Stock next year.
Okay. Do you get a chance to connect with other veteran musicians?
Not very often. It's just I just haven't run across them yet that I know of.
Okay, fair enough. I was just wondering, like, if you are territorial as bands. I mean, are you guys having gang fights over your space?
Office space moment.
My drummer will go into somebody else's show and click the bottles on his fingers, you know. Come out and play.
Warriors.
No, we support each other quite a bit, and we're a pretty tight knit group as far as, you know, promoting each other's stuff, and we'll go to each other's shows if we're not playing and things like that. And, you know, what are you guys working on? You know, and it's been nothing but great vibes, killer vibes. I do say I take that back. I have run across a couple of veteran musicians, and I actually got to released a track with a veteran, Kimberly Meyer, who you guys had on the show not too long ago. We got hooked up through FiJack, and she decided she wanted to do a duet together. So we let her throw down those amazing pipes that she's got on the song that we put out, the Winona cover, No One Else on Earth. And that she brought a lot to the table whenever we cut that one. And yeah, I'm pretty grateful for her taking the time to want to come down and vibe with me for a little bit. That was pretty cool.
And again, I wasn't necessarily going that way, but then I pulled up just your songs here just now, and I'm just like, okay. And the interesting, amazing, I don't know, I'm probably reaching here because I do that on occasion, but she's got a very gypsy-ish feel about her as a human, and I'm just thinking boho, gypsy, hobo, opportunity, get people together. And Mr. Derek Iozzio may have suggested, let's get a little thing going on down on the property. And I'm just like, terrible ideas by terrible human beings that don't know what the hell they're talking about at all. Okay, it's a good idea. Well, let's lead into this song with you and Miss Meyer.
Let's do it.
First, I would like to say something because I love this song. And I don't know if the plan was for you to do a duet with Kimberly Meyer, or if you were kind of like cutting this song on your own at first and it just worked out that she jumped in with you. But I think taking on a Judd song as a man,
that was the thing.
Dude, that's
he's yep. I was sitting around and we were kicking it around, and what do you want to do as far as a cover if you were to do a cover? And I just was like, and right about that time we were listening to the radio and the Judds Give a Little Love came on, and I was like, well, let's just do that. And it worked out great. And we actually cut No One Else on Earth without Kimberly Meyer. And then later she came in and retracted, and we kind of reshaped the song and things like that. And we actually put that as the EP for the Red Flags EP because her and I both got signed to the United Republic there out of Nashville. And we're we just kind of kicked things off for UR for them, and it's been going very well.
Well, and the name of the song is
No One Else on Earth.
No One Else on Earth. This is Hockett with Kimberly Meyer.
I've been alright, and I've got my fences. I never let them down. When it comes to love, and I keep my senses, I don't get kicked around. I shivered once, you broke into my soul. The damage is done now, I'm out of control. How did you get to me? No one else on earth could ever hurt me, break my heart the way you do. No one else on earth was ever worth it. No one can love me like, no one can love me like you. Yeah, like you.
You can make me want you anytime you want to. You're burning me alive. I can't deny you, even when I catch you. Even a weak alibi. 'Cause when the night falls, you make me forget your love is killing me, and it ain't over yet.
How did you get to me? No one else on earth could ever hurt me, break my heart the way you do. No one else on earth was ever worth it. No one can love me like, no one can love me like you. Yeah, like you. I shivered once, you broke into my soul. The damage is done now, I'm out of control. How did you get to me? No one else on earth could ever hurt me, break my heart the way you do. No one else on earth was ever worth it. No one can love me like, no one can love me like, no one else on earth could ever hurt me, break my heart the way you do. No one else on earth was ever worth it. No one can love me like, no one like you. No one like you. Yeah, no one else on earth. No one else on earth. Yeah.
That is Mr. Hockett and Kimberly Meyer and no one else. You know, there's probably no way of knowing this. Sometimes there's a close enough relationship. Always when a cover is done, it's a tribute to the people that made the original. Do you know if the Judds have heard this?
Hold on. We got you on. You muted.
There we go. Oh, two of us doing it twice. We good. All right.
Mic check.
Go ahead, brother.
That song just slaps. It does. I don't know if if Winona's heard it or not. It wouldn't surprise me if she did, and it wouldn't surprise me if she did. You know what I mean?
Sure. No, and again,
but it'd be cool if she did.
I'm gonna. So my truth is, I love watching like the reality music shows on TV only because I like hearing the original songs in another craftsmanship. And I mean, some of the times I'm like, nah, you didn't hit that one. That one didn't hit. That one, you put that one away. Don't play that ever again. You're just doing karaoke. Then there's the ones where you get the chill bumps and it's like, oh my gosh, I hear the original in there. It's a great song, but then it takes it to just a whole complete different craftsmanship level. And like you shut up, just for the record. You don't get to say you slapped it. We get to say you slapped it, and you slapped it. I'm just going to, you did it, brother.
Well, thank
you.
you.
The artist can't say that. We get to say that, and I will say that. So, great song, and
thank you.
Gosh,
Winona was kind of like the rocker of the female rocker of country music in her
she
time.
Was.
That's just
she still pretty much is, yeah.
The two of you did the band and Kimberly Meyer, all of you did a fantastic job. I'm super impressed right now.
Well, thank you.
I'm kind of on a behind the scenes mission now. That's I just want to know what minds think, and we have enough connections. We have enough conversations in that space. We want to. I can't never ever promise anything, but I definitely am on a mission now. So we'll figure these pieces out. We'll figure these out.
Right on.
Miss Iozzio.
Hello.
Is there something new, or is there something that you're working on right now?
I also just started my classes up. I'm a professor for Delta State University. I teach social justice and criminology, which again was sparked by my dad. He was also a police officer for Houston Police Department, and I apparently just keep following in his footsteps because there's no greater model than him. And so I teach back virtually at Delta State. I'm teaching intro to criminology and policy and practice. So I really enjoy it. But yeah, summer is over, as Andrea mentioned earlier. So full.
Will you keep your misery to yourself, please? We don't need to all share.
You get it out. Okay. This is the whole mission, right? To get it out and to vent. So that's what I'm doing. This is a great space to do so.
All you teachers are just spoiled babies, and I get to say that. I didn't spoil myself this year, but that is what it is. Lauren, are you going to be available for a show tonight?
Can you repeat that one more time? I don't know if it's my internet, but
yeah. Are you available for post show tonight?
I could be.
I just got a lot of questions, and again, I'm going to tiptoe to the line right now because you say that you're in. There's two different ideologies when it comes to criminology. I'm just going to say there's this and that, and I will leave it alone. But at the same time, I want to pick your brain. I want to see kind of the pieces where you stand, where it's at, where you think. And I don't know that our world comes together, and we very strongly don't go down some of those paths, during this show and for a lot of reasons. I mean, we want to make sure that we're accommodating brothers and sisters on both sides of all spectrums and make sure that we are here to fully make sure that we are here to support, regardless of what your ideology and belief is. Thank you for your service, and that is the message. And we've had our conversation left and right with people in the world. It's like, well, you don't do this, you don't do that, you don't do this. I'm like, really? Explain to me how we don't do this. When there's we can touch in so many spaces right now, and I'm not going to do it. I promise you, people, I will not do it. We will talk about tacos now because that's what Jeremy Daniels wanted to talk about, and they are food. And Jeremy, because of you, I've been wanting to get a 6-pack and a pound all night long. Thank you. No, thank you. I hope I get rid of all these people here in time to get down to the Taco John's. I don't think I will, though. But life is life. I'll be okay. So you're teaching criminology at a university. Can you share, and I think we're not touching on it, can you share a little bit about the people that you're reaching, the youth that you're reaching? Oh.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if you can.
Yeah. All right. So we'll just continue, maybe a little refresh along the way. We'll come back to it. So, stumbling on the live show. That's the way it works. We get it. Mr. Hockett.
Yes, sir.
Where can people find your work?
Any place that they like to stream, they can find me. You can find me on Insta at _Hockett, Facebook under Hockett. TikTok is a different one. That one's the Muffin Man 86. You can find me there. And yeah, I'm pretty much everywhere.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
I do know the Muffin Man.
Fair enough. Miss Iozzio, I don't know if you caught the question as we were just dealing with. You must be in that kind of space, and that's okay. Can you speak to, and I don't want to put you in the spot, or can you speak to the type of student that comes into your space to learn your craft that you're trying to teach?
Well, so I am certified K-8, and I have my certification in the state of South Dakota. So I predominantly taught on the Pine Ridge Reservation, very low income, a lot going on the Pine Ridge, which again I can save for another time because that in of itself is another topic. And then for my college classes, I teach mostly the students are from Mississippi. They do kind of come from everywhere, but a lot of those students, again, there's a history there as well. But a lot of the students that take my class already have jobs in law enforcement or in the criminal justice system. They're parole officers or a wide variety of things, and so they are wanting to kind of go through their education and learn more of the policies and practices to be able to kind of then go out and help in their job and in their space. So we have a lot of conversation about just kind of what's going on in the world right now, as you guys all know, and just kind of what they want to do to move forward with that and how they can help, in their space as well. So.
Yeah, and again, I want to know the why, the when, the where, the how, and we talk regularly about our men and women in blue and why you would even want to do that job in our society now. That's not ear tagging or stepping on anyone's toes there. I just we work in an additional field where I'm trying to figure out every time I go there to that space, I'm like, why am I doing this? And just the very lack of appreciation, the lack of taking ownership of self, the lack of trying. I'm not saying everyone needs to be in this cookie cutter, be like everyone else space, but at the same time, there has to be at least some casual norms to society. And now we're getting off on a whole nother tangent and a piece, but there's just a lot of pieces I don't get with humanity right now. So the great part is we get to do this post show and have that conversation, and none of you all get to see that. But unless you want to join the team, and then if you want to join the team, remember we're always looking for time, talent, and treasure for anyone. You got a skill, I guarantee you we got a place for you. That is how the mission works. To continue the mission, to continue what we're doing, we need people involved. And I cannot tell you, and I'm not trying to blow people up, and I'm not trying to make people feel guilty, but the amount of people that say they want to do and help, and then come around and spend about 3 minutes, maybe 3 days, sometimes 3 weeks, and then turn around and say, yeah, that is too much work. And I get it. I understand it. But is it any more work than the men and women who laid it on the lines to allow you the effort and opportunity to lay your big fat head on the pillows of freedom every day? Yep, I'm talking to you. If you're not part of the problem, you're part of the solution. That's my opinion. And prove me wrong. Andrea, why are you shaking your head no? Am I jabbing too much tonight? Is that?
No, but you said it a little bit backwards.
Did I?
You said if you're not part of the problem, then you're part of the solution.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I mean, it still kind of works. It still kind of works.
So if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Yeah.
There
If
you
I
go.
messed it up, that's a famous piece in the Peterson household is I F up. You have to get it. I F up cliches all the time. It's the joke, but that wasn't a joke. I just messed it up. You got another song, Mr. Hockett?
I do. This one's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little bit more poppy. It's kind of about that person, that toxic person you can't stay away from because the you know what is just absolutely killer.
It's called Red Flags.
It is.
Suddenly it all makes sense.
Is this the song about women?
Well, you could take it either way.
I'm sorry, ladies. I'm totally joking. That was a joke. Tell me more, bro.
Oh, we were trying to figure out what to do and what do we want to do and what we want to write about. And I was like, well, I've got one that I'm pretty sure everybody's been in, whether you're man or a woman dealing with it. You've got that toxic person that you know is bad for you, but you choose not to stay away from. It's like touching a hot stove and doing this to yourself. You know what I mean? And you're going to do it again and again. You know, we've all kind of been there. So I figured I'd put it into song. You know what I mean?
Well, let's get to it. This is Mr. Hockett with Red Flags.
I walked in, she drew a bead on me. I knew then I couldn't let it be, down in doubles and taking too many shots. We know where this is going, but we ain't gonna stop till we're leaving. Down a one-way road, man, we're going as fast as we can go. There's no stopping when there's no red lights, till we crash and burn it up in the sheets tonight. And we both know the morning will bring regret, but let's pretend the sunrise is a new sunset. I'm gonna ruin my life one more time. Lead me on, turn me on with sweet little lies. I won't stay away. You're the best I've had. Your hellfire don't burn as bad. I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. I still won't pretend I don't care. You're waving me down with your red flags. We all know that I love the chase. I'm just a sucker from toxic coated lace. You pull me under with the things that you say, but I'll take the heat for the decisions I made. But we both know the morning will bring regret, but let's pretend the sunrise is a new sunset. I'm gonna ruin my life one more time. Lead me on, turn me on with sweet little lies. I won't stay away. I want right now. I'm gonna ruin my life one more time. Lead me on, turn me on with sweet little lies. I won't stay away. You're the best I've had. Your hellfire, don't burn that bright. I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. I still won't pretend I don't care. You're waving me down with your red flag.
That is Hockett with Red Flags. Has anyone ever like talked to you about like the tone of your voice, the smokiness, the grind and the grit in that space?
Oh yeah. They say how do you make it sound like you smoke a pack of Reds and chew on some gravel before you get up on stage. Just
Travis Shitty a little bit. Well, who's your inspiration? Who's your music inspiration?
Oh, that's a loaded question. It's vast. It's very vast, from Prince to Metallica to Iron Maiden to Muddy Waters, Stevie Ray Vaughan, even some Selena and Shakira, and I'm kind of all over the place.
Who's on your playlist right now?
Right. I don't know. That's a good question. Right now it'd be probably them Dirty Roses.
Lauren, who's on your playlist right now?
I have so many things. It's embarrassing. I'm a big country nerd. I recently saw Zach Bryan concert. I'm going to see John Party and Cody Johnson.
I like me some Party.
And you meant to say WeP3 Radio, but that's okay.
That was given. So put me on the spot, but I couldn't get out fast enough.
Cameron, who's on your playlist right now?
Wade Jennings.
Like it. Jonathan.
Oh, this has been a thought. I think I might have mentioned this to Miss Skimmer last time we talked, but right now I have been jamming to Muscadine Bloodline. It's that old school Texas country, but Muscadine Bloodline has a duet with Lainey Wilson that is just so good. So good.
You make me laugh, but it's funny. Eichmann, who's on your playlist right now?
Yeah, Cody Johnson lately. He's been there, and some Lainey Wilson.
Hockett is on my playlist, just so you guys know.
I knew you were going to say that. Way to throw us all under the bus, Mark.
Yeah.
I am deeply intrigued by, and you every once in a while these artists comes out there, and you're just like, wow. Post Malone is my guy that I'm just kind of out there listening to him. He is doing some stuff in all genres, and you know what? I don't want to get into the side narrative of what he's up to, where he's going, how he's doing it, but I just like very, very. Oh, that's good job, good job.
My man.
You can find him on Spotify.
If you are listening to the podcast, Jonathan just threw up the Spotify screenshot of Hockett, and I think everyone should do that right now. Make sure you're getting out there supporting our brother, making sure you are getting him the spins and the listens, and I haven't heard anything I don't want to listen to again. That's the amazing fun part of all this. I mean, every once in a while, and again, you're listening to someone's music, and I mean, I'm not saying Hockett has this, but there's a dud out there. I haven't heard a dud yet. And there's just only so many like level or width in the creative scope that you're not going to keep everyone happy all the time, and so how we keep our brothers and sisters fed and the support is you go out, you like, you share, you feed, you put it out there. Everyone go grab Hockett stuff, throw it on your Facebook today, get to his YouTube channels, get to his Spotify, like it and share it and build it up. Again, get the chance, go and build it and grow it. And if you're in the Texas area, make sure you go to Boho Hobo Hideaway and get your weekend. Take a break. Put your feet up. At the same time, what's crazy is you can do that and listen to Hockett at the same freaking time. That's craziness.
It's a great idea.
Do you have a listening device at your Boho Hobo Hideaway?
I do. I have Alexa, but she's kind of the Echo Dot has been kind of freaking some of my guests out, so I've had to.
Grr, not grr on Lauren's part, just grr on our connection right now, which is good. Here's the deal. Oh, she's back. She's back. I saw her shaking her head.
Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if you heard any of that.
We heard you the Alexa part.
Yeah.
I had an Alexa in my Airbnb that people could log into. It was kind of freaking some people out because apparently she would say things like, "Hey, someone's outside," when no one's outside. So I had to remove her.
Yeah, that might. I can see the problem. I can see it.
I don't know what that was about, but TV that you can also stream off of, so we can definitely listen to some Hockett on your weekends away.
Is there a way to preset that stuff? Like maybe just having that stuff already playing. Is there a way to do that? I don't know. I don't have that technology. I never touched that stuff. But too busy doing my own thing. That's the part that sucks. But is there a way to preset that?
I can tinker with it. Maybe have it on the TV when they're all show up.
Research it. We'll figure it out. We'd like people to preset WeP3 Radio, if you know what I'm saying. Get out there, listen to all of our brothers and sisters that have given you the chance and opportunity right off the bat. And what a joyous show this has been for us. We're at that space, and we got to figure out how to shut her down. Not that we want to, because I think we could talk about everything and anything for a long time, long space, and we'll do that. But this is the time where we start talking about what we gathered from the show and or the minute of life that we're in right now. And usually we have Jonathan give us our final thoughts, and then we'll kind of popcorn this. Well, we popcorn it by my direction. But Jonathan, what do you got, bro?
Something that Hockett said at the beginning of the show that we've talked about a lot in the past. Man, music is healing for everyone. It ain't got to be my music. It can be your favorite song, my favorite song, some song you never heard before. There's something for you to listen to no matter what mood or what headspace you're in that'll bring you back to some sort of reality that you can cling to. So definitely, whatever you're doing, find some music that you can jive with. I've been on a kick lately where I listen to motivational mindset podcasts and speeches and stuff like that, man. And when I drive a lot at work, and when I step out of my van and get to the job, I just kind of want to kick the door open and be like, yo, I'm here, So there's something via the digital music platform that you can find that'll bring you to a headspace where you're so much better than without it. So please dig in and find something that you can listen to. Hockett tonight, dude. I'm ready to run a marathon, but only the first half mile or so of it. Because
Right on.
hamstrings and stuff. But aside from the music, somebody mentioned something to me this week, which we'll get into the logistics of it during our podcast. That's more about us tomorrow. But during this week, talking to people and things like that, I heard something that really, when put into context, made a lot of sense. And he said, if you want someone who's going to work their butts off and get stuff done, like if you're looking for somebody that's going to accomplish something, somebody that's going to like join your team and take over, find somebody who ain't got time for nothing.
Yeah.
The busiest people are the ones that are going to find the time to be even busier. So I haven't been able to get over that since I heard it. So I just wanted to put it out there, and hopefully that helps somebody in this room besides me.
Miss Kimmer.
Lauren, thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you for having me.
You were a good guest, very interesting, and yeah, I'd like to hear the conversation after the show.
Absolutely.
Hockett, love the music.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
I'd like to close with something that since Andrea keeps saying that I have lyrics, I do have lyrics. I don't sing, but I have lyrics. This one's called Hey Barkeep. Hey Barkeep sent me up a bourbon whiskey. Hell, let's make it 3. 1 for me, myself, and I. I got a whole life of trauma that I'm currently trying to hide. I don't want to be no different than those that are inside, dancing, having a good time, and drinking to stay alive. So barkeep, set me up a bourbon whiskey. Hell, let's make it 3. 1 for me, myself, and I. I'm going through some emotional pain. The sun has faded and it's beginning to rain. No, ma'am, those aren't tears. I am sane. So barkeep, set me up a bourbon whiskey. Hell, let's make it 3. 1 for me, myself, and I. Helping me to forget about my past. Just keep them going. I know they're going fast. I hope this place has enough to last. Hey, barkeep, set me up a bourbon whiskey. Hell, let's make it 3. 1 for me, myself, and I. I'm going through some emotional pain. The sun has faded and it's beginning to rain. I hope this place has enough to last. So, barkeep, set me up a bourbon whiskey. Hell, let's make it 3. 1 for me, myself, and I.
little personal touch in there.
Right on.
About going over and grabbing a bottle just now. Mr. Hockett, what do you got, brother?
Well, I feel like I just got back from having to bury a dear friend of mine, and I'd like to talk about what you guys are doing as well, and just remind people that, you know, no matter what you're going through, even if you're in rock bottom, or even if you hit the basement of rock bottom, you don't know where to go, you don't know where to turn, you don't feel like anything that you're going to do is going to work out, or and you're low, please do not hesitate to reach out to somebody. I guarantee you somebody's got the time, somebody's got the ear, somebody's got a plan, and somebody's willing to help you implement that plan. You know, everybody around you loves having you here. So stick around for as long as you can.
With you, brother. With you.
Say again.
With you. That's when our brothers and sisters are going through stuff, we always share with you, because I mean, not that we want to share in misery, but we do want to share your pain, and we want to be with you in your moments, and we are with you, man. Miss Iozzio.
Yeah. Hopefully my internet doesn't give out because that would be awkward as I'm saying the closing thoughts. But when I first started teaching, I heard a quote that said, "Children don't care how much you know until they know how much you care." And that kind of stuck with me over the years. You know, it kind of morphed in from me teaching kids to now me teaching college classes that, you know, it's more about students. Students don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And now on this show, as we're talking about mental health and talking about, you know, what Hockett was talking about, is that, you know, people don't really care what you know until they know that you care. And I definitely want to spread that out into the world. Like you said, lean on people and kind of let them know that you're loved, and, you know, we're all here for each other, and it's definitely worth having the conversation, even if it's hard.
Awesome. Thank you. You're good. You're a good apple, and you feel very close to the tree. Just saying. Miss Ike.
I know. Right now, like, I had to write notes down because following all of this, I never get to go first. So I'm going to probably say a few things that you guys did, but I'm going to start with not judging a book by its cover. Because Peterson was giving Hockett crap about looking like a rocker earlier. And when Lauren popped on, and I looked at Lauren's pictures, but you don't look old enough to have taught and be teaching college kids. Like, wow. So, right? So, no judging. You have to listen to learn, and you have to ask questions to learn. And I want to thank you guys so much for sharing. Yeah, I think, yes, Derek, I think we're going to start doing that in order to be on the show.
What a wise man. Very wise man he is.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And so, big messages of caring tonight. And my notes are all over this page. Caring and family, and I lost my train of thought. But anyway, Hockett, the music was awesome. Can't wait for more and more. I'm just learning all this technology stuff. I may be calling you about how to combine things. I read and watch a lot of YouTube and try to figure that stuff out, but it's not always looking the same. Even Jonathan sharing his message earlier. I don't know, you guys. It's been a great show. There's a lot to learn. I saw people who may or may not have podcasts or live shows at the same time popping in to see, and we appreciate them a ton. So thank you so much for sharing, and we will talk more after we get done here tonight, after Peterson closes it up. Next week, you guys, we have got, we've had Kevin Palmer on the show before. He was given to us as a musician, not having served, but as very supportive of community servants and national servants. And I don't mean politicians, so we're not going to put those on the docket, but those who put on uniforms. And now he's into some acting as well. So his messages, his support, he's a great guy. He'll be here next week, and then our other spot is kind of open yet for next week. So it'll be Labor Day. You all need to take some time, relax a little bit somewhere throughout the weekend next week. I need to get on the pontoon. I realized today it's only been in the water like 3 times this year. So I need to get on my pontoon, hopefully throughout this week. I'd mentioned Brian Kenzer earlier. Oh, shoot. Anyway, I want to put his link on here, and this isn't the right one. I will find his Smart Living link and put it on here. This is his old one. Make healthy choices, get enough sleep. And that's what we do here at the People's Patriot Project, you guys. Like what Hockett was saying, we are all here to answer your call. All 6 of us. I'm guessing I'm going to speak for these 2 as well. Peterson's number is everywhere. I think you can find mine here and there. The rest of us, we're all available right here on social media, obviously. So if you need anything, and Hockett and Lauren, there have been times where, we will give as much as we can, but sometimes, like I just reached out to this guy named Lauren Iozzio last week because I had somebody looking for something down in that area, and I'm not familiar with that area, but right away, boom, there he was. If we can't find it, we will connect you without letting go. We will connect you to the help that you think you need, or maybe the help that we think you need, or a combination of both. So don't ever hesitate. We like to lighten the load. Yeah, keep that monster beast suicide out of the brain. So yeah, so that's what we'd like to do and what we help with.
We're all about action. You can talk about it all day long, but at the end of the day, if you're not doing anything about it, then you are just, it's a thing, man. And we have a lot of brothers and sisters that are struggling with putting things into motion, and they are looking for that space to, you know what, I need a moment. Yep, take your moment. There's nothing wrong with taking that moment. But at the end of the day, you got to figure out a way to feed yourself. We have a way to feed you. Plug in a little bit of Hockett, and that'll feed you. Music feeds you. Then, find some good, clean sustenance to feed yourself, literally. And it's all about taking care of the mind, the body, and the soul. And we believe to serve is therapeutic. We believe the conversation in real perspectives is therapeutic. And being real with yourself is therapeutic. You can't, don't put it out there, you can't bullshit a bullshitter, man. You do your thing. Be you, be real, be authentic. These are the pieces that make us who we are. If you're lying to yourself, you know it. But if you're lying to others, we'll figure it out. All of us have a device in our possession. And we joke and make light of it a lot of times about people who do push-ups. And if push-ups are your thing, do your push-ups, brother. Do your push-ups, sister. And for those that think that doing push-ups is not getting the job done, keep your opinion to yourself. It doesn't matter. It's something to someone. Some people like to do ruck marches. I think you're crazy as hell, because I've done enough of ruck marches, and I've done enough of walking in crazy boots with a load on my back. I don't want to do any more ruck marches. But if that's your gig and that's your thing, go get it, brother, and make awareness. Take care of those that have given us the opportunities. What I do know is all of us have a device in our presence, and it's probably within arm's reach right now. What I'm going to ask you to do is go to your phone and go do a text thread, or go to someone in your contact list and just type in, I was thinking about you. It's really that simple. Cut and paste that into 6 other conversations, and do it with someone that maybe you haven't talked to for a while. Yes, you got your regulars, you got your speed dial folks, you got all those people that are there. Reach out to those that you haven't reached out to in a minute. Reach out to the ones that you think are strong, because they've spent their life leading and just need to know that those that have been behind them, and you know what, we can get into that conversation about leadership, because leading is within, but you know what, those leaders need a little bit of pick me up as well. I do ask that you take one of the conversations. It's the hard conversation. It's the conversation that got sideways sometime in life. And it is a legitimately something or someone that you care about, but because of some part of life, things got sideways. Reach out to that person and say, be the bigger person. I was just thinking about you. Sorry, not sorry. If it spurs a conversation, great. If it doesn't stir anything, you know what? That's between you and your conscience and what you want to think. You can tag it again at another moment, or just let it rest. You've done your job. But I also know that conversation and humans want to feel connected. And you feel connected when people reach out to you. I know that there's a number of brothers that do it to me, sisters, and not really, but it's kind of guys hang with guys, girls hang with girls kind of thing. I get it. That's fine. I want to do a shout out to Scotty Frazier. He does this regularly. He is a musician out of Texas, does a great job down there. Thank you, Scotty, for your reach outs. Mr. Montgomery out of Texas, or not out of California, thank you for your reach outs. We got a number of people that come to our show that make sure that they're reaching out. Adam Bird, I appreciate you. Derek Iozzio, you're here. The list goes on and on and on. I'm not here to create this list of hierarchy or people that are at the top of my mind at any given moment. I'm talking about those people that put their boots on the ground and put their words into action, and they are making the world a better place. We do have a philosophy and an ideology that we think the version of us tomorrow should be better than the version of us today. And how you do that is you find a piece of education, you find a piece of finding who you are, and you apply that to the world. And so we appreciate all of our guests that came on tonight. You guys are a blessing to us. We don't get to do what we do without you. We thank you for the listeners that have came on tonight and shared their points of view, their thoughts, their ideas, and just part of the banter. Because we're giving a tribute to Derek Iozzio and Catch 22, we want to make sure that we mention you one more time, Derek. All this isn't happening without you, brother. Thank you. I'd like to thank the WeP3 team for all the hard work they're doing and the extra work they're doing because of some of the pieces that I'm taking care of in my life, and then to make sure WeP3 is doing the successful things that it's doing. We want to thank the network and all the people that are in our network and reach out and say, you know what, thank you, and getting the job done. We appreciate you. We want to end with live life with a purpose and go lead with a purpose. Patriot Pride. Thank you for being here tonight. Peace. It's my stall at the end because we need to put that clip in another place. Boom.